Welcome to this explainer for the Scout. Today, we're diving into exactly how to build a monopoly. We'll be distilling Peter Thiel's core philosophy on achieving absolute market dominance step by step. No fluff, just the exact playbook you need to build the future. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so we're starting off with the ultimate contrarian truth. Think about this question. What important truth do very few people agree with you on? It's wild, right? It immediately shatters conventional thinking. Because look, if you want to build a truly massive, dominant business, you absolutely can't just build what everyone else is building. You've got to find a secret that the rest of the world is completely missing.
To actually do that, we have to clearly define our goal. Are we just copying things that already work? That's what we call horizontal progress, or going from 1 to n. Or are we doing entirely new things? Now that is vertical progress, going from 0 to 1. Think of it this way. If you take a typewriter and just build 100 more of them, well, that's horizontal. But if you take a typewriter and invent a word processor, boom, you've just gone from 0 to 1.
Now, at a macro level, horizontal progress is basically just globalization, taking what already works somewhere and just trying to make it work everywhere. But true 0 to 1, vertical progress, that's driven purely by technology. It's the only thing that allows us to do way more with way less, and it creates completely new categories of abundance instead of just, fighting over the exact same scarce resources.
So let's look at starting with a small niche.
Starting with a small niche is honestly a pretty counterintuitive tactic, but it's exactly how you launch the 0 to 1 future. The perfect target market for a startup is a small group of particular people all concentrated together. Amazon is literally the perfect example here. Jeff Bezos didn't start Amazon as the everything store on day one. He deliberately targeted a super small, specific market first, books. There were millions of them, they were easy to ship, and he could offer a selection that no physical store could ever match. And it was only after completely dominating that niche that Amazon confidently scaled up to CDs, videos, and eventually the whole shebang.
Next up, let's break down the 4 characteristics of a monopoly.
Because once your business scales, it needs an impenetrable defense to protect itself. First up is proprietary technology. The general rule of thumb here is that your tech must be at least 10 times better than its closest substitute. Anything less is honestly just a marginal improvement. Think about Amazon again. Their massive digital inventory was a 10x improvement over a physical bookstore simply because they didn't have to physically store every single book. They made the buying experience fundamentally friction-free.
The second characteristic is network effects. This is when your product literally becomes more useful as more people use it. But here's the catch. Paradoxically, you absolutely must start with a very small initial market to make this work. Mark Zuckerberg didn't try to get the entire planet on Facebook on day one. He started with just his classmates at Harvard.
Third, we have economies of scale. A true monopoly just gets stronger as it gets bigger. Software startups are absolutely incredible here because the marginal cost of producing another copy of your product is, well, practically zero. You want a business where your fixed costs can be spread out over massive, ever-growing sales without your overhead just completely exploding.
And the 4th characteristic is branding. Creating a really strong brand is a powerful way to claim a monopoly. But you can't just polish the surface and call it a day. Apple claims a monopoly by actually backing up their sleek, minimalist design with a highly complex suite of underlying proprietary tech. The substance absolutely has to match the style.
All right, let's move into the monopoly assessment. We really want to apply this to your own ventures, so I'm going to run through 7 critical questions, and I want you to ask yourself these directly. First is the engineering question. Ask yourself, does my company have truly proprietary technology that provides a 10x improvement? Think of Amazon back in 1995. They didn't just build a slightly better bookstore. They built an entire online infrastructure that completely bypassed physical retail limitations. Does your product offer that kind of undeniable superiority?
Next up is the monopoly question. Ask yourself, am I starting in a small, concentrated niche market? Again, look at Amazon. They didn't launch by trying to sell electronics and clothing to everyone. They dominated the small, very specific niche of online book buyers first, captured that entire market, and only then did they scale from a position of absolute strength. So are you starting small enough?
Then ask yourself the ultimate secret question. Have you identified a unique, hidden opportunity that the rest of the market is completely missing? Amazon's secret was realizing that books were really just the initial wedge. The real secret was knowing that once people trusted them to deliver a book, they would eventually trust them to deliver absolutely anything.
You've also got to ask yourself about the final 4: timing, people, distribution, and durability. And Amazon nailed these too. Ask yourself, is now the right time? Like Amazon timing the internet boom? Do you have the right people,
a truly top-tier team? Do you have a way to actually distribute your product directly to consumers? And is your market position durable enough to last decades? You really need to answer all 7 correctly. As you can see here, Tesla completely nailed all 7 to build a lasting monopoly, while the entire clean tech bubble failed because they relied on blind luck and answered basically 0 of them.
To wrap this all up, Peter Thiel says, our task today is to find singular ways to create the new things, to go from 0 to 1. You know, everything important really is singular. Our task is to intelligently design a better future, rather than just crossing our fingers and hoping for a winning lottery ticket. You are not a lottery ticket. By questioning conventional wisdom, starting incredibly small, and building truly proprietary tech, you can carve out your own monopoly.
If you found this explainer valuable and you want more actionable insights on building incredible companies, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to The Scout. But before you go, I want you to take a hard look at your own work and ask yourself, what is the 0 to 1 secret that you are hiding in plain sight? Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next explainer.